Hello. So I don't even know what's happening here. Oh, can I share this? Oh, I feel like it's been a minute since I've done a live. Definitely have gone through some energetic shifts in consciousness the last couple of days, and coming back, I don't know, to this next level version of who I am. Hi, Kimberly. And I was in yoga this morning, and hi, Anne. I was in yoga this morning, and the yoga teacher said, she's like, you know, when you're coming in, she's like leave everything behind, like let it stay at the door, like just come in and be here and be with yourself on the mat. And she's like, you know, letting go is hard, change is hard, and it is and it isn't. What makes change hard is a couple of things. One, the fear that gets triggered when you're changing, right? The fear that, you know, so it's like when you, here, let me put it this way. It's like the dreams and the desires that you have and you want to experience are not going to happen with the level of mindset and consciousness that you're in right now. So if you want to be in a, you know, loving, romantic relationship, if you want to be the, you know, business owner, the, you know, healer, the, you know, the artist sharing your work out into the world, who you are now needs to change. You need to become the person who is already living that life that you say that you want to live. But what happens, hi Tish, hi Elaine, what happens is that as life starts to guide you to creating change and becoming the person who is living this next level life experience, more money, more health, romantic relationships, new home, business owner, you know, famous artist. Changes will happen on all different levels. And when you start to change, your nervous system gets kicked off. So your nervous system goes into fight, flight, freeze mode. So this is why people, and then their mind kicks in. And then the mind starts thinking of all of the things that could go wrong, or all of the things that they have to do to get from point A to point B. So when change is upon you, your nervous system kicks in, your mind kicks in, and then this is where you stop, right? Because you stop because there's discomfort. When you're creating change, when you're becoming this next level version of yourself, you are changing on an energetic level, a physiological level, an emotional level, and it gets uncomfortable. And when it gets uncomfortable, the mind wants to go to wherever is most comfortable. And even if the most comfortable means being in a job you don't like, in a relationship where you're not feeling loved, feeling like uncomfortable in your own body, or not fit, or not healthy, the comfortable zone is going to get to a point where it's too uncomfortable for you to stay in. So I'm sharing this information with you for you to understand that the things when people come to do work with me, they don't even realize, actually I had one new client come in recently where she stopped herself. So if you notice, you get inspired to do something, to put your idea out into the world, to launch a new course, to finally put your passions out into the world, or start a new health regimen, or put yourself out there to have that romantic relationship, right? You get the inspiration, you get excited, and then what happens? And then you start thinking too much, you get scared, you get nervous, you start thinking about everything that has to happen, you know, all of the I'm not enough, All of the heartbreaks will come up, all of the fears of not succeeding, all of the vulnerabilities of showing up and sharing who you are start popping up, right? So that's where the stop zone is. That's where it's like, okay, like stop. And then you go back into your comfort zone. So to get past the stop zone and keep going, you've got to keep your mind and your focus on the end goal. The end goal of feeling healthy, the end goal of having the romantic relationship, the end goal of sharing your art, your healing, your message out in the world, your end goal of being in that romantic relationship. Because the level, change just, it's part of the process. So if you're fearing the change, if you're fearing, if you're allowing what starts to bubble up within you, not the inspiration, not the excitement, let that keep rolling, because excitement and fear have a very similar energy to them. And that's where people stop. But if you can keep yourself open to not let the mind take over, to understand that your nervous system is getting triggered, because your nervous system gets triggered because you are starting to threaten the comfort zone. You're starting to, the ego, the limitations, the smallness, the way that you hide, starts to become threatened, and it feels like it's going to be annihilated. And they need to be. And that's what this whole Rebel Rising course is about, is that the rebel says, fuck limitations, fuck fear, fuck insecurity. There is more of a life that wants to come through me, and I am not going to allow anything to get in my way anymore. So to get past that stop zone is you got to keep your eye on the end goal. Now, as stuff rises up, right, again, it's really energy. It's really consciousness that is moving through your being and blasting out the limitations. The old you has to go in order for the new you to rise up and through. And as this new level of consciousness is coming through, as this energy is starting to shift through you, it can feel very uncomfortable. And this is where the human gets their mind involved. And this is where it's full on surrender, full on not needing to control the process, not needing to know if the inspired ideas that are coming through are going to work out, if the inspiration to take the course, hire the coach, put yourself online, get that gym membership. Listen, everybody has, I don't know, maybe if you don't have anxiety of trying a thing for a first time, let me know. But when you're trying something new, that anxiety's there. Don't let it stop you anymore. Because if you can look back at all of the first times that you've done something, that you've made it through, you're still here. And I saw a quote the other day where it said, does the caterpillar putting together the cocoon wonder, what the fuck am I doing? And that's kind of how this life is, especially if you are in the mindset of, wanting more of this life experience for you to want to experience more of what this life has for you. If you want to be more of an expression of who you are, if you have something within that, wants to come through, it's really so much about getting the intuitive insight, getting the message, getting the guidance, and doing it no matter what, following through no matter what, not knowing but trusting. So trust is a big piece in this process. Trust of yourself, trust of life. So I'm just going to see if there's anything more that I wanted to share about this. I mean, that's the thing. It really is, if you can understand that there is a process, that when you're about to change, there's a part of you saying, what the fuck am I doing? Just know that happens, but keep moving forward towards your goal. Forget about figuring it all out. Forget about whether it's going to work out or not. Deep trust that you're always being led, and it's always going to work out. The fears are going to come up, the anxieties are going to come up. You're going to feel alchemical changes happening in your body. Your energy body is shifting. And this is where quantum leaps, right? Where quantum leaps come in. And I'm being reminded that the movie Pretty Woman. So Pretty Woman is a movie. She was a prostitute. Julia Roberts was a prostitute. Richard Gere picks her up, gives her all of this luxury. Hi, Joan. Richard Gere, brings her to like Rodeo Drive and buys her jewelry and buys her dresses and does all these things, right? But in the end of the movie, she goes back to being a prostitute. Why? Because her consciousness, this is my take, because her consciousness could not sustain being in the atmosphere of luxury and worthiness and, like jewels and all of that. So that's what's happening with you on this expansion, ascension, awakening process, is that the you that you say you want to be, the life that you say you want to have, wants to come through you. You just have to get out of the way. So understand stuff is going to come up. Deal with it if you have to, but don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you. Just keep forging ahead. This is what happens, is that you'll get the inspired idea that you want to do this thing, you want to have this experience, you want to put yourself out there, you want to put your art out there, you want to put your message and healing out into the world. And then I've done this where I got really excited about something, put a workshop together, and then like wanted to cancel it. Just wanted to cancel it. Because it's like there's this like part of me that like does the thing, and then then it's like all set, the date is set, the space is set, everything's all set, and then my mind gets involved and I want to cancel it, and I try to figure out all the ways that I can cancel it. How can I get out of it? Right? But I don't let myself stop. I actually just recently booked a trip. Now this is where it's like I can feel, so when there's change that's going to be happening through me, I can start to feel the rumblings. I can feel like an earthquake is coming, right? I can start to feel the rumblings. I can start to be witness to my life about how I'm being prepared for something, right? Because sometimes chaos will come in, sometimes, and it doesn't have to be chaotic. Change could be very smooth and effortlessness and ease. But I can start to feel the rumblings within. And so I just booked a trip, and I can feel I'm being prepared for this trip. And I witness my mind. How can I cancel it? How can I get my money back for the airfare? Can I cancel my Airbnb? It's funny to witness. I don't let it stop me, but to me, that's just a signal that, okay, Kelly, change is coming. Just prepare yourself. Just listen to my body, pay attention to, what I'm, being guided to do. And so for the last couple of days, I was kind of out. I was offline. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there was a lot of energy moving through me, and my body needed to rest to integrate it. And that's what I had to do. And so my course, Rebel Rising, was supposed to close yesterday, but I'm keeping it open for one more day. You still have time to get in to the end of today at midnight. There's 2 spaces left. And as I tuned in, I could sense it's like there's somebody's got one foot in the door. And so if you're wondering if this course is for you, message me. Let's talk about it. There's no sales pressure. It's really important that, we're on the same page for what you want, because I'm not about dragging people through change. I'm about, okay, listen, more is meant to come through you. You have these goals. You have these dreams. What is your process for you to get from here to here? It's not about my process. It's not about my blueprint. It's about what is for you. Like I was one client I was working with inside this already. So, she was being told that she's got to sit and meditate. And as I tuned in to what she needed in order to come into alignment with herself, it was more about dance. And so she's been dancing and loving it, and allowing this other part of her to be coming through. So we're going to be together for 6 weeks. You're going to have 24/7 access to me within that time frame. And you can check out my Facebook page. There's a lot of, some testimonials on there about some of the people that have been through a previous similar course about all of the areas of their lives change. Because when we get to that core thing, that core belief, that core fear, that core pattern that keeps you from taking that forward step and really tapping into what is meant for you, what your biggest dreams are, what your biggest desires are, then I'm being reminded of so many people now that have gone through this, then it's with ease. And then you're moving forward with confidence, and like you have self-trust, and you have trust in life and trust in yourself. And it's like you have a better understanding of how you work and how your fears show up and how to move through them and not let them stop you anymore. Because if there's something within you that wants to come through you, it's meant for you. So yes, bypassing the change sabotage. It's so funny, isn't it? This change sabotage. And here's the thing, you can't get it wrong. You really can't. What I'm really speaking about is allowing the journey to be with much more ease and less suffering. I had a client message me not too long ago where she was just like, I can't believe how easy this is. The humans make it so hard, and it's really not. It becomes challenging. Yeah, when you are shedding your limitations, when you are really coming face to face with the part of you that says I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm too scared, like that part does need to go, and it will fight to hold on. But I'm going to show you how to go through it, and you're going to learn stuff that you're going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life. So, and going past the stop line, keep your eye focused on the end goal and what it is that you want for yourself. Forget about the hows, forget about the steps. You are going to be guided. You are going to be guided to what you need to do, and and all of the hows. You can't get it wrong, but you can let it be easier. So let that inner rebel rise up from within you, blasting out limitations, blasting out insecurities, blasting out fears, and let the healing, the message, the art, the expression of who you are come through you. And I promise you, life becomes easier, synchronicities happen, the things that you're striving for and working so hard towards come with ease when you get out of the way and let it rise up. Thank you for watching. I'll post the link in here. Like I said, by midnight tonight, the doors are totally closing. There are 2 spaces left, and I'd love to have you. So if you know anybody that is going through change, or you see them in cycles and loops and you feel like this video would help them, please do share, and have a beautiful day. Thank you, Joan.